Hello everybody and welcome to day 2 of the boot camp. I'm so glad that so many of you have joined me again live today. It's so great to see you guys. Again, very international community. We got Holland, we got California, we got the UK. Chris is in Austria. No, that's Carl. Sorry, Carl is in Austria. I love it. I love it. So today we're going to be focusing on bar chords. I'm going to be teaching you my best tips and tricks to make bar chords as easy and possible for you to play as I possibly can. I'm also going to be showing you how you can use my book that you can download inside of the group, how you can use that to unlock the full potential of bar chords. Okay, so that's the main thing that we are going to be talking about today. We're also going to be doing a little bit of Q&A. I might watch a couple of videos, but again, Thursday is going to be that main video watching day. Now, I was, checking out the group as I always do, and you boys and girls have been doing such an amazing job. If I go over here to media, I mean, look at all the homework that you guys have done so far, you boys and girls. And then also all these videos that you've been uploading. I mean, it's been tremendous to watch and see how much momentum has been happening in the group since yesterday. So hats off to all of you. As I was saying yesterday, every single one of you that participates really matters. And that's how we're going to make this thing a success for everybody. So those of you who still have been sitting on the fence and haven't been getting active and kind of you're thinking about doing it, but you're not really getting all in, jump in the water. It's fine. You're going to get the most out of this experience if you get active, and you're going to motivate all of the other people as well, right? It's a wonderful thing how we humans motivate each other when we're in a positive, encouraging environment. And that's why we're doing this. And that's why this is called a community, right? Boot camp. This is a community boot camp. And that's why we're doing this. So just to recap really quickly, give you guys a little recap. I like to recap because the same questions come up over and over again, believe it or not. All of the replays can be found here. So just click here, boom, click a second time, and then it takes you to this page. And if you just scroll down a little bit, you'll see the replay. So here's for the warm-up, here's the one yesterday, and here's that extra resource that I gave you guys yesterday as bonus homework, okay? So everything is laid out in one place, nice and easy for you to find, okay? What else do we have here? If I go back, okay, and here I put it a second time. So those of you who weren't sure where to find the tab, if you want to do that Joker lesson, as I talked about yesterday, you can find it here. Again, you can find the workbook here and on that page that I just showed you. So we put things in multiple places for you boys and girls so that you can find them. Also, if you're not sure where to find the live streams, I email them every single day, 10 minutes before the stream starts, and about 12 hours after the stream ends, you get the replay to your inbox as well. So we can either deliver it to you, right, to your inbox, which is the most nice, I think. You're going to have to go to supersimpleguitar.com to register for that officially, right? And then we're going to email that to you. So that looks like this once you get there. Supersimpleguitar.com, and it looks like this. You just sign up, boom, and we email you the link to the live stream 10 minutes before it starts, plus you get the replay sent to you as well, which is really cool, right? And that's about that. So today, like I said, we're going to be talking about bar chords. Let me just make sure that I didn't forget anything, but I think we're good. All right, very good. Again, so nice to see so many of you participating. It's just tremendous. And again, by participating, you get entered into a raffle, and we're choosing 3 winners every single day randomly, right? So you guys get put into a pot, you guys and girls, and we randomly choose 3 winners, which is really cool. So what I want to do now is announce the first winner, because that's exciting. So today's first winner is Kelly Ann Willis. Kelly, you won. And the prizes, in case any of you missed them, are my courses. So I'm going to be giving away 1 course per person, right? And I'm going to be choosing the course that I think matches where you're at the most. So if you post a video, hopefully, I'll be able to see where you're at. And based on what I see, I will create a coupon for you and send that to you via Messenger. Okay, so you're going to have to check your Facebook Messenger because that's where I'm going to send it to you. So Kellyanne, you won. Also, if you're already a member, then you're going to get a 30-minute coaching one-on-one call with me. Okay, so I want my members who are already in my world, who have been in my world for years, to also get something because they already have access to all of the courses. So just so you guys know, even if you're members, you're still eligible to win, right? Everybody can win, which is really cool. Can I get a hallelujah? Okay, so that's about that for now. Are there any questions at this point about the boot camp? If you guys have any questions regarding, what we've done so far, what the homework is, how to do the things, let me know. If you missed yesterday's live stream, just go to that page and you're going to have the replay right there, right? So that's really cool as well. Also, if you're joining us today for the first time, it's not too late to get active. Just because it's Tuesday doesn't mean that you can't get active now. So watch, the warm-up, watch day one, and then you're going to be all caught up and then just get active and start doing the stuff. Start posting videos of you playing. So to recap really quickly, I'm not going to go long. Let's just take a quick look at who was paying attention yesterday. So we learned the LPRS framework. Who can tell me what that stands for? What does the L pillar stand for? What does the P pillar stand for? What does the R pillar stand for? What does the S pillar stand for? Who is paying attention? Let me see in the comments. I'm curious. I'm curious to see who's been paying attention. I'm sure many of you have because I saw the homework. So the L pillar stands for learn, right? So that's the main one that I told you guys. If you really mastered that and if you were able to focus and get structured and learn the right things in the right order, that's when you're going to be unstoppable, right? Then we talked about that Fender study that unfortunately, a lot of people fall into the trap. Carl was paying attention. Great job, Carl. Then we talked about how distraction is everywhere. I shared my personal experience about being distracted yesterday over and over again. You guys have your own stories, I'm sure. Then we also talked about, YouTube versus having a structured place where you can go and just plug in and learn ABCD rather than trying to find the puzzle pieces plus put the puzzle together, right? So we talked about how I know this because I've polled people many, many times, and these are the results I get over and over again. Then we talked about the paradox of choice. And of course, the paradox of choice is what we do not want to have, right? We want to have as little things to choose as possible so that we actually get stuff done. And we also learned that it's very important to focus, right? Focus on one course of action until success, right? That's how you're going to put the puzzle together. That's how the picture is going to come together for you, and you're actually going to be able to play songs, right? A little progress every single day adds up. Little block by block by block, consistently, really, really adds up, right? Then play, we learned that it needs to be fun, right? That's why we're doing this boot camp. That's why we're here now. I want to make this fun for you. I also want to challenge you a little bit, right? And I also want to make you focus. So that's why I gave you the homework and told you to narrow things down or play that Joker tune. Then record. Many of you have recorded for the first time. Hats off to you. It's really, really great to see that. And recording can be scary. Once that red light is on, it's like, even though you're alone in the room, it's scary, right? You start to sweat, right? Your heart rate gets higher. I know what it's like, trust me. So it's a part of that process. And that's why those two core premises that I was telling you, one of them is all progress happens outside of the comfort zone, right? And the more you play, the better you're going to get. So we want to be playing consistently, and we want to be pushing ourselves outside of the comfort zone, right? Hence, record ourselves and then share. Many of you, feel uncomfortable sharing to the community, but you did it anyway. So hats off to you. That's just a little recap of what we did yesterday. I see that many of you were paying attention. I really appreciate that. Look how many of you boys and girls have been paying attention. That's very, very cool. And yeah, that's about that. So in terms of recording equals stress, says Carl. Yeah, it does. Believe me, I've been there too. Dusan Vidovic says Joker's hard. That's totally fine. You know, just take it slow. I was watching a lot of your videos, you know, and you guys are at different levels, and that's totally fine. If it's hard for you, just slow it down. You know, slow it down to baby pace. And it doesn't have to come together today or tomorrow, right? It's about putting skin in the game, choosing a project and working on it. And you'll see, you know, by Thursday, you will have already made progress. And then if you continue to practice that, you know, your progress is going to grow and grow and grow. Remember those blocks that I just showed you? Week after week after week, you're getting better and better and better and better, right? So just trust the process. You know, it really is a process, and this is something that tests your patience, because us humans, we want fast results, right? We want fast, give it to me now, right? But guitar trains us, you know, to kind of move more in the pace of nature. Nature doesn't move fast, right? And music is connected to nature, right? So just trust nature, trust the natural process, trust that every single person that got good at guitar, except some of those kids that you see on YouTube that are 6 years old and they can play faster than me. I don't know what's happening there. But other than those kids, those prodigy, who knows what's going on, every single one of us had to put in the time, put in the effort, you know, get outside of our comfort zone and sweat, right? It is work, but it's very rewarding to put in a day's work and to know that you actually did something. You know, it's brought me so much joy in my life. So that's all I have to say about that. Let me see the comments here. My wife distracts me all the time. Oh man, that's why I have the studio. You think I could do this at home? Oh God. Oh wow. We got totally international community here. So, okay. So let's now talk about bar chords. Now, many of you can't play bar chords at all, and that's what I'm going to be talking about first. But then I'm also going to be talking about the power that they unlock once you are able to play them, okay? So even if you can't play them now, you still want to pay attention, because I'm going to be showing you some very valuable things that are going to make playing them easier. And even if you can play them, a lot of these tips are still going to help you. Then after that, I'm going to be showing you what you can do, and I'm going to be highly encouraging you to download my book. That again is... I'm going to actually email it to everybody after this live stream as well. I'm going to put it in the recap email, but it's in the group. So if you just get this, where is it? It's right here. So just to make sure that everybody knows where it is. If you go here to files, so I'm going to put it in an email, but I'm also going to show you where you can find it. So it's right here. Okay. And Richard Meager, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He was nice enough to format it very nicely for us. So boom, you can just download it and you're off to the races, okay? And actually read it, because further down, sorry for this fast scrolling here, later down I start talking about bar chords and how you can move them, okay? So that's why it's important to actually read this as well, and not just have it be a file on your computer that you never open. And I'm speaking from experience, because this is what I do when I download stuff that I get for free as well. Okay, so let's just talk about how to get started with bar chords for those of you who can't play them yet. So the first thing that we need to think about is, how can we make our guitar easier to play? Okay, and this is something that most people never think about, because it's just not something you think about, right? So how can we make our guitar easier to play? Now just think about this for a second, right? The easier your guitar is to play, the easier it's going to be to play all kinds of chords. The easier it's going to be to solo. The easier everything is going to be, right? You could kind of think of it like driving a car from the 60s, right? Without any of the modern stuff on it, or getting into a brand new Mercedes today. How much effort do you need to drive the older car versus the newer car, right? So we want to make our guitar as much as like a Rolls Royce as we possibly can, right? Why not? Why not do that? Okay, we want to do that. So how do we do that? The first thing is we want to lower the action on the guitar. So let me just show you what action means. And again, this is going to be homework for the workbook. So make sure that you've downloaded the workbook. You can find it in files. This is going to be homework, right? So you got to pay attention, and again, post your homework into the Facebook group after this live stream so that you're eligible to win the prizes. And I might even have some more bonus prizes coming. Who knows? So let me show you first what really bad action looks like, okay? And all action is, when we say action, is the distance from the guitar neck to the string. Okay, so this is really high action, and that's what we don't want. That's a no-no. Now, hopefully none of your guitars look like this, but you know, when I was doing a bunch of one-on-one, every once in a while somebody would come to me with a guitar like this thinking that it's normal. Okay, so this is not normal. So what is normal is action that looks like this. Let me just make sure. Oh yeah, okay, that was the right one. Okay, so this is how you want your guitar to look, right? You want it to be nice and low. So you can see the difference between those two images. Let me show you again, right? That's the high action, that's the low action. High, low, okay? So how do we do that? There's a couple of ways. So either you can take your guitar to a professional and ask them to do it for you. Okay, so that's a really great thing to do. Even if you can play bar chords at any point in your playing, it's a great thing to do. Because what they're going to do is they're going to straighten the neck in a perfect position, and they're going to lower the strings. Okay, so that's what I would personally do. Well, actually, it's not what I personally do because I like to get my hands dirty, but it's what I would recommend you do if you're not into tinkering and getting your hands dirty and you're not like a craftsman or craftswoman. I like to get my hands dirty, but I would recommend you just take it to the place. But if you want to do it yourself, what you can do is you can file down this piece of bone here. So this is a bone or plastic, depending on your guitar, right? The bridge. File it down. So you want to take it out and get a piece of sandpaper and file it down, right? And then that's going to lower it, right? What you can also do is you can put a wrench in the neck. There's a little screw here, and you can tighten that. And if you tighten it, it's going to straighten the neck, right? Again, if you want to tinker, then definitely watch some YouTube videos, watch some professional people explaining how to do it the right way, right? I'm just trying to give you the brief overview right now. Again, I recommend you take it to the thing, to the shop, because they're going to do a really good job for you, and it's going to be easy to play, and you're going to be happy you did it. So that's the first thing. Make your guitar easy to play, have it be done by a pro, or really take the time to figure out how to do it. So I took this out, and I bought this guitar brand new, and it was very hard to play. So why do the companies do that? Why do they send you brand new guitars that are hard to play? The reason is when you lower the strings by lowering the action, you get a little bit more buzz. The guitar becomes slightly more buzzy, right? And a lot of people, I think, when they're beginners and they get a guitar and it buzzes, they complain about it and they send it back, right? So I think that the manufacturers, just to keep their, their bottom line safe, they ship guitars with slightly higher action so that there's no buzz, so they don't get the guitar sent back to them. That's my theory. I can't confirm or deny, but that's my theory of why companies do it. So it's our responsibility to tell either the shop or to do it on our own and tell them, hey, make this action as low as possible so that my guitar is really easy to play, right? And that's just going to make your life so much easier. I've done this for my own students many times. I've done this for my friends, and they just can't believe how much nicer their guitar is to play once you do this, right? So that's the first thing. Lower your action, have your guitar set up by a pro, or really take the time to learn how to do it properly, okay? That's the first option, the first thing we're going to be doing. The second thing, again, has to do with making your guitar easier to play, right? So how can we do that? Well, we can put on light strings. Okay, so this is another thing people just don't think about. Most acoustic guitars come with 12 gauge strings, and those are pretty fat, right? And that's going to make it harder to push down. Again, it's going to make your guitar harder to play. You're going to get a fatter sound, right? It's going to sound fatter, but it's going to come at the price of you needing to push harder and need more effort, and it's just going to make it more difficult for you as a beginner, and that's not what you need as a beginner, right? So get the action lowered and put on light strings, okay? So now we've already done two things that are tremendously minimizing the effort that we need in order to get a note to come out of this guitar, right? And when you're playing a bar chord, you need 6 notes to ring really nicely, right? So just think of how much easier that is with this guitar compared to one that has really high action. It's so much easier. And I'm at the point where I'm spoiled. If the strings are even a little bit high, I just won't even play it, because it's just I'm so used to this standard that I can't go back, right? So that's very important. So here's the third thing that you can do. And you can just grab a capo. Okay, so this is one that my son, when he was younger, bit. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, look at that. When my son was younger, he thought this is food, so he bit it. That's why it looks the way it looks. But it still works, so I still use it. So you can put a capo on the 2nd fret. Okay, so I like to put it on the 2nd fret. You could put it higher up if you want to, but I like to put it on the 2nd fret. And again, that's lowering everything a little bit. So again, making it easier to get a note out. And the second thing that it's doing is it's bringing the scale closer. The distance between the frets is further apart here than it is here, right? So by putting the capo on, you're bringing everything a little bit closer, which means your hand isn't going to need to stretch as much, okay? It's a small little tip, but if you compound these 3 things that I've showed you so far, you're taking that old 60s car and you're moving very, very close to that Mercedes, right? That's what we're trying to do here. So, see that? Okay. So that's the third tip. You do not have to put on the capo, but I really like to do that with people because it just makes everything closer. It brings down the strings a little bit more, and you just get your notes out easier, right? So why not do it? Okay, so that's tip number 3. Is all of this stuff making sense? Let me know, people. Great tips. Carl says 1047. Yes, 10 is great. 10 is great. Sandy, great to see you, Sandy. Always great to see Sandy. Purple Haze is her nickname. Oh, wait, she says, I just had my guitar action lowered and it was 75 local store. It's excellent now. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So excellent that you did that. And just write in the comments, like on a scale from 1 to 10, how much easier is your guitar to play now? For me, when I did it on this guitar, it was like a 10. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe how much easier this thing is to play. And this is like a $2,500 guitar that I ordered brand new. So I was expecting a premium shipment, right? And it was okay. But once I lowered the strings, it became just so much better, right? So yeah, just know that even if you buy an expensive guitar, the chances are that it's not set up perfectly are very high, right? Yeah, so that's really good to know. And that's just not something you hear. Like, I don't know. I haven't heard anybody else talking about this. So Sandy says also 10. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. If you already have an electric guitar, the chances are that one's already easier to play because it already has 10s on it. For some reason, they set them up a little bit better, right? I don't know why. But acoustics, in my experience, have been pretty bad off the shelf. So you really want to get that done. Okay, so those are the 3 main things in terms of getting your guitar to be easier to play. And now the next tip that I like to tell people is, just go from a C major shape into that F shape. See that? And then go back. And the way I like to teach, the reason I like to teach it this way is because this finger is like this little nice anchor here for you. Okay? This finger never moves. Right? Alright? If you don't like the feeling of playing it here, feel free to take off the capo, right? This is just something to play around with. Right? Okay, so C major into F. Russ is saying, what is the tens? So it's just the gauge of the strings. So if you look at the packaging on your guitar strings, they'll be 12 to, I don't know, 47 or 10 to 46. I don't know it all by heart, but the lowest number is the one that people tend to look for. So electric guitars often have nines, even nines up to tens on them. Some people put on even heavier strings, but nines or tens are very typical for electric guitar. And for acoustic guitar, they often come shipped with 12s. So 12 to, I'm not even sure how high up it goes. And then you even have things like hybrid sets where it's, I don't want to blow your minds. David Gilmour, I think I heard him play, he plays with a hybrid set. But the standard, I think, for electric guitar is 10 to 46. So that's what we're talking about here. And then you also have light gauge or extra light gauge. So I would look for 10s for your acoustic guitar, and even maybe 9s for your electric guitar. I have 9s on my electric, and I tend to put 10s or sometimes 11s on my acoustic. Just because, yeah, I can deal with the 11s. Yeah. So, yeah, that's that. I hope that answers your question. What does the ideal gauge for low action? You know, like I said, for acoustic, I would just get 10s. 10s are the highest 11s. And for electric, I like 9s because, again, I just like my hand to not have to work too hard, right? Why make things harder than they need to be, right? So that's what I do. Now, with an electric guitar, if you put 9s on it, it makes it really easy to move the strings. So sometimes you'll grab a chord and you'll play it out of tune because your fingers, as you push down, you're pushing the string out of tune, right? So that's something to think about a little bit. As a beginner, you don't need to worry about these things. But for me, when I'm playing, I'll all of a sudden sound like I'm out of tune, and it's not the guitar that's out of tune, it's my fingers that are pushing these strings too hard, and they're moving them out of tune. They're bending them up or down, right? So I don't want to blow your minds with too much info here, though. So yeah. So for electric, I'd say get 9s. For acoustic, get 10s or maximum 11, but don't get 12s. And there's a really good chance that your acoustic guitar came shipped with 12s, right? So you're going to want to change the strings. One more thing, the strings that I like, okay, somebody says Gilmour 10 to 48. Okay, so a typical set is 10 to 46, and Gilmour has this hybrid thing going on where he does 10 down here, right? And then he wants fatter sound with these strings, with the bass strings. So that's why the second set goes up to 48. Okay, wow. 10 to 50 on a Gibson. Okay, so on a Gibson guitar, so on a Strat, he does one thing. On a Gibson, he does another. Yeah, I could talk about that a lot more too, but I don't want to, again, blow all of your minds. Oh my God, don't get me started on all this stuff. Because the thing is, no, I don't want to. I'm not going to do it. Just really quick. So a Fender has a longer neck, right? A Fender has a longer neck, which means that there's more tension, right? So that's why he has 10 to 48. A Gibson has a shorter neck, which means that there's less tension, right? So that's why he puts on heavier strings to mitigate that tension. But I'm not going to say anything else about it because I really don't want to blow your minds. But I could talk about this stuff all day. And that's something I didn't learn until maybe 10 years into playing. Okay, but back to the bar chords. So, yeah, practice from C to F. That's a great way to practice it, right? Now, once you've got these, okay, one other thing that I want to show you. So you don't want your wrist to be bent too much. Amelie, great to see you. You don't want your wrist to be bent too much. So try to do this exercise with me. Try to bend your wrist a lot, right? And try to now move your fingers. And feel how difficult it is to move your fingers, right? And now straighten it out a little bit, and now try to move your fingers, okay? So see how much easier it is like this rather than like this, right? Do this with me. So when you go for your bar chord, you want to pay some attention here. Now there's going to have to be some bending happening. Some bending is going to happen. but you want to try to keep it flat as you can, right? Because your fingers are going to be more relaxed, okay? So again, this is challenging and it's going to take time before it feels comfortable, but just think about these things while you practice. If I put on the capo, it makes me bend my wrist a little bit more, honestly. Let me try that. So there's pros and cons to everything, right? So just try it out, take it slow, don't stress about it, right? And everything will fall into place for you, okay? So those are my main tips about bar chords. One other tip is a lot of people tend to hold the guitar like this, like parallel with their body. Let me see if you can see that, right? So you want to push it out a little bit because that's freeing your elbow. If your elbow is stuck to your body, it's going to be much harder to do this. So if you push out the guitar a little bit and get your elbow away from your body just a little bit, again, you're going to have to play around with this, right? With the physiology of your body. We're all different, right? As well. But you want to have your arm not stuck to your body. You want to have it a little bit out. See that? Okay. So by pushing the guitar out a little bit, that's going to free your arm from your body, right? A lot of people tend to try to play it like this, and that forces your elbow to your body, right? And that's just going to make things harder for you. So push it out a little bit, right? Okay. So again, you guys are going to have to play around with this. I spent a lot of time just sitting there and trying stuff and trying to see how it feels. And, you know, so this does take time, but learning bar chords, once you really get them, it unlocks so much of the guitar for you, right? Because there's limitations, you know, in terms of what songs you can play if you can't play the bar chords, right? So being able to play them really unlocks the guitar. But I'd say play for 2, 3, 4 months before you really attack them, okay? All right, so those are my main bar chord tips. I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments. Daniel says he holds it classical. Yeah, that's great too. It's not what I do, but it's great. You know, it's great. Feel free to do it that way too. Amelie is in the house. Great to see you, Amelie. You can also tune down a half step. That's another thing that you could do. Yes, if you tune the guitar, sorry, I clicked you away. If you tune the guitar down a half step, it's going to make the strings easier to play. But beginners tend to have problems with down tuning, so that's why I don't talk about that. Yeah, okay. So now let's just quickly, I don't want to blow your minds too much here, especially if you can't even play bar chords yet. But still, you know, save this video so that you can come back to it once you can play bar chords or as you practice them, right? So if you download my book, when you download my book, again, it's inside of the group. It's free. Just get in there, download it. It's going to show you how to move bar chords, okay? So if I have an F major here, there's these little modifications that I can do to it to turn into a totally different chord in terms of major versus minor, right? There's just one note that changes. Or if I want to turn this F into a F7, I just need to remove my pinky. That's F7. Right? Or if I want an F minor 7, then I'd remove my middle finger and my pinky. Sounds like I'm a little bit out of tune here maybe, I'm not sure. But I'm going to go with it. So once you understand that you can modify these, then the next thing that you need to understand is that this is all movable, which is really cool. So if you know the names on the 6th string, right, the notes, the names of the notes on the 6th string, then you can turn this F into a G, right? And now that same exact thing that you did to make the F major a F minor is going to work on your G. So G major, remove the pinky, G minor, right? G major, you want a G7, remove your pinky, G7. You want a G minor 7, remove your middle finger. Okay, you want to do that same thing with the C, just go to C. Okay, so the really beautiful thing is that if you just learn a couple of shapes, F sus4, G sus4, A sus4, right? So the shapes never change in terms of what they are. So this is always going to be a major shape, right? And the way I'm going to know what it is by learning the note names of the sixth string, okay? So if I want to turn this F into a G, I have to know that this is a G, right? If I just remember the note names of the sixth string, I'm going to know what the chord is. If I want to turn this into A, I just have to know that this is A, right? If I want to make this A major or A minor, I just have to remove my middle finger, okay? So this shape is always going to be a minor chord shape. And the way that I'm going to know the name is by knowing the name of the note on the sixth string, okay? So that was a very, very powerful thing for me to learn, and it was always a lot of fun for me to teach this to people because I would just blow their minds, you know, instantly. And then that's why I wrote the book, because I was like, why don't more people know this? Instead of learning all these chords, right? Why not learn a system that just always works, right? So the same works for the fifth string root note, right? I don't want to blow your minds with too much, but this, once you get the F shape down as a bar chord, and you understand that you can change it and move it, right? Then do that with the sixth string root note first. Again, you can read about all of this in the book. I'll then do the same with the fifth string root note, but first master the sixth string, okay? So that's what I'm going to leave you with today in terms of bar chords. I don't want to blow your minds too much, but once you get this, it's going to really open up the entire fretboard for you, because now all of a sudden, you can play all kinds of chords using one shape, right? Instead of going everybody says I should go to a D with that last chord, but I learned to play it like this, so I just stick with it. So instead of doing all this, you can just go. I think I might even be playing it the right way. Everybody says on the internet I'm playing it wrong. I learned it like that, and I just played it at all the campfires like that. Nobody ever complained until I started posting it on Instagram. Anyways, I hope this helps you guys. It surely will, especially if you've never heard these concepts. Now again, I know that a lot of you are beginners and you're really just playing your E's and your A's and your D's and you're trying to get that all clean. That's great. Keep doing that. But after 2, 3, 4 months of playing, slowly start to get that F to sound good, right? Just step by step, note by note, take your time. If you have pain, then stop, right? Don't ever play through pain. I had to learn that the hard way. Just stop, take a break, play something else that doesn't hurt, and then the next day, start over again, okay? But again, if your guitar is easy to play and you have nice low action and light strings, just your whole life is going to be easier, right? So why not do that? Okay, let's see. Putting the tips of your fingers on the strings make the chords sound clear. Yes, for sure. So you want to have your tips on the fingers. We're not doing this, right? Because then you're going to be muting out the notes. It's more of like the tips. See my little knuckles here, my finger knuckles? I'm not sure how to call them. They're not like this, right? We want to have them pointing upwards, right? So not this, but this is what we're going for, right? Not this, this, right? Sorry. Okay. Okay. So again, depending on where you're at, it's good to have heard this information. You're going to have this video, you're going to have the book. When the time comes, you're going to be off to the races. But if you're not there yet, then don't worry about it. Just stick to your beginner stuff for now. Stick to those basic chords, get them to flow nicely. but I did want to have the bar chord chapter inside of this boot camp because all of you are going to get there, and many of you have guitars that are hard to play, so that was very important for me to cover. All right, I love it. We're at 50 minutes. Wow, time is flying here. I know I had a 10-minute intro. Okay, so what is happening here now? What about the F chord with indie on? I'm not sure what that means. With indie on, I have trouble flattening the knuckle. I'm not exactly sure what that means. One thing that you can also do, if you can't play the bar chord and you see an F coming in your song, there's a way that you can do a little cheat, right? So you can play this chord, which is called the F major 7. Sounds slightly different, but it'll work in many situations, right? So it looks like a C major, but these two fingers pop down. See that? So that's like a little cheat F chord that you could do. I call it the baby F, okay? And then slowly get to here. So, okay, so you're talking about the index finger. That's something I forgot to say that I wanted to say. So thank you for reminding me. You want to have your fingers as close to the fret as possible. And one thing that people think is they think it has to be flat, right? It doesn't have to be flat. It can be tilted, okay? So it's this part of my finger that's actually applying pressure. And I'm basically on the fret. You know, I'll see a lot of people be back here and it's bent. That's going to make your life very hard. I'm trying to make sure that you can see that. You can go closer to the fret easily. See that? So I'm basically on it, right? And it's not this, because a lot of people think you have to do this. It's this. See that? And then you can also just do the test, right? Do the single note test and just see where you're having problems. Now, I would recommend practicing this every single time you play. Once you decide you're going to start conquering it, but do it for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then move on to something that's easier to play. And then maybe come back to it some point in your session, right? You don't need to kill yourself for 30 minutes in a row doing this, but have it be something that you do consistently, and then one day it's just going to click, okay? So I hope that makes sense. Rocky says, mention the English finger angle. Yes. Thank you for reminding me that. Thank you for this question. What about the, okay, so index finger. Thank you for saying that, Sandy. I'm glad you liked the CCR lessons. Putting the tips. Okay, so Milton says, really cool. I can play power chords most of the time. The finger position seems similar. Yeah, well, you can play power chords different ways, right? So you can play them like this. I like to play them with my pinky. Just because I don't need to stretch my hand as much, it's more relaxing for me to play it like this. But of course, a lot of people play power chords like this, which is basically like a F minor, except we're only playing the 3 lowest notes. But my wrist really doesn't like that, so I do it the more relaxed way. I only have these 2 notes in here, but it's enough. It sounds great, because this note, if you add this one, is just the octave of this, so they're both the note F, right? So it's just fattening up what you already have. I hope that makes some sense. Let's see. Seems like the edge of the finger is stronger. Yes, for sure. Yeah. So let me check out some more comments that I might have missed here. So Carlton says, hi all, I have tried a time with bar chords and changing open chords without putting fingers on strings. You're not supposed to. Yeah, that's normal. So just take it slow. You know, it takes time. So just be aware of that and be okay with that, right? Just be okay with it taking time, and then you'll see if you record yourself, like I was telling you, if you're plugged into a community that you can share what you're working on with, It's going to make it easier to stay in the game, and you're going to be able to talk to people that are having the same experience as you. So all of a sudden you're not alone anymore. Now you can share it and connect with people that are doing the same thing, right? So that's why community is so powerful, and that's why it's a huge part of the framework that we learned, right? So can you mention the importance of the 6-string notes and knowing them? Yes. So that's what I was saying before, and you can find this in the book. So let me show you the book here one more time. So if you go to the book, it shows you how to learn the notes on the 6th string. Okay, so it starts here. So I recommend starting with the notes that don't have a flat or sharp in them. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, right? And then in between F and G is going to be F sharp or a G flat. In between G and A, there's going to be a G sharp or A flat. In between A and B, there's going to be A sharp or B flat. B and C don't have anything between them. C and D, either a C sharp or D flat. Same here. So D sharp or E flat, right? And then you're at your octave. Then it starts over again. So by knowing this, by knowing where these notes are, you're going to be able to take your shape, right? So let's use our F example, just F major, right? And if I want to turn this into a D major, let's say, I just have to know that this is the note D, right? And then I just have that same exact shape. See that? It's really, really easy and cool. So if I want to turn this into a, I don't know, B major, I just have to know that this is the note B, right? And it's the same shape. The shape never changes. So again, read that book, because it's going to just make this a lot more clear for you. Then you're also going to see the different shapes and how you can change them and all that. So I hope that answered your question, Rocky. I struggle to go from open chords to a bar chord. Yeah, that's totally normal. That's totally normal. And don't worry about it. You know, it'll come in time. The better you get at playing the bar chords, the easier it's going to be. So that brings me to smooth chord transitions, because that's another thing that a lot of people struggle with and that I really want to talk about. Fixing intonation on acoustic guitar. I've never done that, honestly. That's something you have to take to somebody to do. So Daniel's asking about how to fix intonation on acoustic guitar. I know how to do it on electric, but I do not know how to do it on acoustic. So that's a good question. Who knows? Mine is maybe terrible and I don't even know it. So anyways, I forgot what I was talking about. I have no idea. Oh yeah. Smooth chord transitions. So one thing that you can do, especially at the beginner stage, is these little fillers, and I call that buying time. So by playing these upstrokes, right, it gives you time where there's no silence on the guitar to switch chords. Right? Now it might not sound really great if I do it so slowly, but if I go, then you hardly notice that I did it. Okay, so right? So you can always have that upstroke happen between chords. It's going to sound fine, right? It's always going to sound fine. People are scared to hit the open strings without a hand on the guitar, but you can always do it. And that's going to happen while your left hand is in the air going from chord to chord. So if I'm just going from E into A, so I'm going down, 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 up. So that up, my left hand wasn't on the guitar. Down, 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 up. Again, I wasn't on the guitar, right? Let's go to a G. See, I can do it anytime. And if I want to get to the F, I can do it in between the chords to an F as well. So if I'm going from a D, Now this one is definitely more challenging, going from a D to a F. But just trying to make sure that your right hand, your strumming hand, just keeps going, even if there's not anything happening, and it's just going to keep that rhythm moving forward. It's going to keep the propulsion moving forward. I'm not sure if you can say propulsion, but yeah. So that's how you're going to learn to switch chords with ease. And that's inside of that free beginner course that I gave you guys inside of the group as well. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you still haven't joined our Facebook community and gotten into the boot camp, go to supersimpleguitar.com and sign up. So it looks like this, right? Sign up. And then once you sign up, you're going to get to this group and you're going to get to have these files. So you're going to have the workbook, you're going to have my book. Those are totally for free, okay? And you're also going to get this course, right? This beginner course. Where is it? This one right here, okay? So first 10 lessons every beginner guitarist needs to see. And I talk about the whole buying time and doing smooth chord transitions in here, okay? So that is lovely. Make sure to do that. Get signed up if you're not signed up yet. And then you're also going to be able to win the prizes that way as well. Let me see what else is happening here. Mystical Messenger says he likes it. Hammer-ons like Rolling Stones. You can also count your way up the neck. That's a good one. That's a good one. I haven't done that one yet. But good tip, my friend. Thank you for that. The neck needs to be adjusted likely beyond that. Okay, so he's probably talking about intonation here. That's one that I never thought of. My guitar might be totally out of it. I'm not sure. But it sounds fine to me, so I don't know. I must have done something right. James, I have a 9-string guitar, so the bridge looks a little bit different. Yeah, you could still do it. I think I've done it on classical guitars too. But again, the best thing is just take it to the shop, tell them, have it be as easy to play as possible, even if it buzzes a little bit. So give them the green light that it's okay for you if it buzzes a little bit. We don't want it to be buzzing like crazy, but a little bit of buzz is much better than having a guitar that's really hard to play, okay? So I'm thinking today I'm going to actually probably keep it short. Thursday is going to be the main day where I watch videos and give you boys and girls feedback. So keep your videos coming. Thursday is going to be the main video feedback day. So I'm going to watch a bunch of videos and I'm going to give a bunch of feedback to all of the videos. The last time I went for 3 hours. I don't know if I'm going to go for 3 hours this time, but we're going to go longer on Thursday. So post your videos. I'm going to give you feedback. I'm really looking forward to that. And the really cool thing about the group feedback experience is that, you know, a problem that you have is the same problem that 100 of other people are having at the same time. So by watching me fix one person's issue, I'm going to fix your issue at the same time, right? We're all in this together again, and the same problems occur over and over again, right? And that's why having this group bootcamp experience is so great, because we all get to learn from each other, right? I don't see the files you were talking about. Okay, let me show you the files again, Mark. So I assume you are in the Facebook group. I assume you're in the Facebook group. So let me do screen only. Give me 1 second here. Screen only. Okay, so now I'm gone. I've disappeared. So check it out. If you hit up here where it says community home, that should be like the home screen of the boot camp, right? Now here is where you have all of the stuff, like the main stuff, right? So if you click here on the right, it says files. This is where you can download the workbook and where you can download the picture chord book, okay? If you click here where it says media, you can see all of the media that everybody's posted since the group has been around. So here's all the homework that people have been posting. Keep the homework coming, because that's how you're going to win the prizes. And then here, if you click, you can see the videos, which is really cool. A lot of videos have been coming in, right? Really, really cool. So those are the videos. Then if you click here, you can see events. So here you can see the upcoming 3 days that we have together. We might do some bonus days next week. I'll still maybe surprise you with that. Who knows? So here you can see that. And then you can also click on each one of these if you want to. And I think somewhere here you can click that you're going. So I can't see that now, but you'll probably be able to see it. So if you click going, it'll give you a reminder as well. I think 1 hour before it starts, and I think as it starts, you also get a reminder. So that's that. How can I get out of here? Let's see. Then you have featured. So here's the feature stuff. This is the bonus challenge, right? The Joker that you guys can do. Make sure to watch day 1 if you're not sure about homework and all that stuff. Day 1 was very important. Here is where you can find all of the replays. Okay, so all of the replays are going to be here. And that's about that. So I hope that answers your question. Mark, let me know. Iselbrucke, yeah, exactly. I have guides, photos, and folded out, but no media. Interesting. I don't see. Maybe you're not in the community yet. Have you signed up, Mark? Go to supersimpleguitar.com and sign up. If you haven't seen that community. I'm not sure. You might be in a different community, I'm not sure. But if you go to supersimpleguitar.com, or I can post this in the chat. So check it out. If you're not there yet. Oh, wow. Is media only for admin? Well, that's good to know. Thank you for that. Okay. So you guys can't see media, but documents are under files. Okay. So you can see okay. So good to know, because I've never seen the perspective of somebody who's not an admin. Okay. I don't know if I posted my homework in the right Facebook group. Okay. You might not have. I'm not sure. Make sure that you're in this group here. Okay. So, where it says beginner guitar accelerated experience. And there's 2,000 people in here. So the best way to find this group, if you haven't yet, go to supersimpleguitar.com. You guys can't see that. Go to supersimpleguitar.com and sign up. Okay. So do the official sign up process. Okay. Then you're going to have everything emailed to you over and over again. You're not going to be able to get lost. So supersimpleguitar.com. Joker's not there. Okay, interesting to know. Okay, thank you for sharing that with me. Mark, the Joker isn't there. So you're going to be able to find the Joker. Once you sign up, you're going to also be emailed this page, right? So every day we're going to be sending you to this page. And here is another place where you can find the bonus stuff, right? Okay. So here's where you can find it. And also, I think you guys can see, let me see. You guys can see featured, right? You guys can see featured because I put it in featured as well. So here's the Joker thing, right? So I hope you guys can see that. Jason, if you could let me know. Media tab is visible to us. So some people can see it, some people can't. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, God. Yeah. So the best way to get all the stuff is go to supersimpleguitar.com and make sure that you're fully signed up, because then we're going to really be emailing you the same link every single day so that it's impossible to not have everything, right? If you just somehow stumbled into the group, or you're just watching this on YouTube, or you're watching this on my Facebook page but not in the group, then you're not fully officially signed up, okay? So go to supersimpleguitar.com. It's the first page. You're going to see it, right? Sign up. You're going to get everything emailed to you twice a day, right? And you can opt out of those emails if you want to afterwards, right? But that's how you're going to make sure that everything is delivered to you and you can't be lost, okay? Okay, yeah, that's interesting that some people can see it and some people can't. Maybe it's by country or something. I've never heard that complaint before. Yeah, because I assume that everybody sees it if I see it. But yeah, maybe it's just not the case. But inside of featured, I have it here for you too. So I try to put everything in multiple places so that it's as easy as possible for everybody. But again, the best way is just go to supersimpleguitar.com. I really am proud of my URL that it's supersimpleguitar.com. You can't miss it, right? So just go there, put in the thing, and you're going to be signed up. You're going to get everything delivered to you every single day, so you can't get lost. You know, it might go to your spam. Maybe check your spam folder and just mark it as not being spam so that it goes to your main inbox. It's technology, people. What can I tell you? So I think we're going to leave it at that today. Again, Thursday is going to be the big day where I'm going to be watching all your videos, okay? Keep your homework coming. Keep posting videos. I really hope that this bar chord lesson helped you. If you can play bar chords, then make sure to read my book. That's going to be another little thing that you can do during this week. You don't have to read it this week. Maybe start reading it next week. Focus on the main thing that we talked about yesterday for this week, or the next week read the book, okay? And that's about that. Are there any more questions before I let you guys go? Also, we have 2 more winners. So the next winner is Rocky Spencer. So Rocky is already a SSG member. He's the jokester. He's already been given a nickname. He's been around for, I think, close to 2 years now. So really great to see that you won, Rocky. So Rocky's going to get a 30-minute lesson with me. I'm going to be contacting you about that, Rocky, and giving you all the details tomorrow, okay? So congratulations on that. Then the third winner is Craig Briscoe. Craig Briscoe. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. You're going to be getting a free course. If you post a video of you playing, it's better because then I can see where you're at, and I'll give you a course that I think fits what you need the most, okay? So do that as well. Richard, thank you so much. Richard, you win too. I'm just going to spontaneously add you in there because you really helped me with formatting the book. So Richard helped me reformat the book so that it's really easy to print for you guys. So Richard, you win too. I'm going to be contacting you tomorrow, and you're also going to get a free course based on where you're at. I think you already posted a video playing, so I'll be checking that out, and based on that, I'm going to give you what you need. All right, everybody. So tomorrow is going to be Groove Day. I'm going to be talking about how you can improve your rhythm, how you can develop a good sense for time, how you can, just really take your playing to the next level without a ton of effort, right? Just developing this relationship with time and groove is huge. And a lot of people just skip this because they want to do all kinds of flashy stuff, but then they're not ever playing in time and nothing sounds right. So I'm going to be showing you my best tips and tricks to play in time, to get good strumming going, and to really develop a good sense of what groove is, how to feel the groove, and how to play with the groove. A lot of people have said that that's been a very helpful lesson for them, so I'm very happy that that's the case. Rocky, you won, my friend. 1 year and 1 week. Okay, I thought it was longer, but I'm really happy that you won. Good night, Richard. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow. It's been really great hanging out with you. Let's see. Craig says, thanks, Henry. Super chuffed to have won one of your... Oh, that's you. Yeah, you won. Okay, excellent. I think you posted it. No, Vanessa chose this, so I don't know I'm not sure if I've seen you playing yet, but I'm going to see if you played. And if you haven't played anything yet, any videos, post a video of you playing so that I can see where you're at, then I'll give you the course that I feel fits you the best, okay? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Tomorrow is going to be Groove Day, which is a very important day. But then Thursday, again, I'm going to be watching and reacting to a bunch of your videos. So get those videos out there. Don't be shy. A lot of people have already gotten outside of their comfort zone and posted for the first time, right? They all survived. Everything's fine. Nobody's leaving them bad comments, right? So do the same, right? You're going to inspire everybody else. It's very powerful, right? So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it so much. And have a great rest of your week. And have a great rest of the day. And I'll see you tomorrow because we're going to see each other every single day of the week. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And I will see you tomorrow with Groove Day. continue working on the song that you've already chosen to work on. If you want to take a second or third song because you're bored just playing one, that's fine. Just leave it at 3 songs. Cap it at 3, right? Okay. And then also read the book next week, or if you really want to, read it now. It's going to help you a lot. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope that this helped you. And all the best to you. Amelie, great to see you. When are you going to play, Amelie? Come on, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you, girl. All right. Talk soon, everybody. Thank you, and bye-bye.